So I'm here at the East Boulder Trailhead, just outside of Callahan, California. I think I'm only going to make it to East Boulder Lake. Maybe I'll try to get to the upper one, just because it's already midday. I just got here, and I'm actually considering doing an overnight here, so that way tomorrow I could potentially tackle nearby Craggy Peak. It's been an objective of mine for some time, and try to make a loop out of that. So we're just going to go ahead and meander through the woods here till we get to the lake. And I'm also going to try to visit this ridge called the Cement Banks. Should have a nice view. Just make it a nice easy day, come back here, car camp. And then Craggy Mountain should block a lot of the early morning sunshine. It's a pretty warm day today. Today and tomorrow are both hovering around 90 degrees, and it feels like 80 degrees in the sun up here at 5,000 feet. So not too far in, the trail crosses through this lovely meadow. There still is a bit of snow and not a lot of foot traffic. Last little bit of shade. There's a lovely waterfall. You see another hiker right there. And from here I start climbing up. I think the first lake should not be too far from here. Alright, so hitting more snow here. Just on the other side, looks like I'll be hitting East Boulder Lake first. It's the largest lake in this immediate area. Some of these trees are pretty stout. This one lost its top. Anyway, I'll do that. I'll just see from there. There's another lake directly above, and then the lower one I apparently skipped. I was just following the main trail, but I'll try to get over the cement banks and then descend down and hit the lake that way. Got a little dam right there. This is a pretty lake. Still a few little snowbirds within the water. Light little breeze. You can see all that pollen. This almost reminds me of Castle Lake. A lot more accessible, except those are granite outcroppings, whereas this here is all peridotite, and then it makes a transition into granite where Craggy Peak is. I don't know if I'll be able to see this lake from the summit tomorrow, but another time I'll come here when there's less snow and probably try to do some of these unnamed mountains here. So I'm past the large lake and heading up. I decided I'll just go ahead and check out the upper Boulder Lake. I just have to cross this swamp with all the meltwater, quite a bit of it. Here is upper Boulder Lake. Mostly frozen over still. This will probably all be gone within a week if we keep having warmer weather. I see a lot of, I don't know if they're ski trails or snowmobiler trails. I don't know if snowmobiles are allowed in wilderness areas. Probably not. Okay, so this is where the water drains out. I'm going to head back down to the big middle lake, and then we'll traverse over to the cement banks and then down and hit the lower Boulder Lake. It's kind of cool seeing all the water just gushing out of the ground. I think they come out of old mole trails. There's a big one up ahead here. Last view of the lake from the top of this little pass. Peaks of the Russian wilderness in the background. And the cement banks. It's part of that ridge right there. A little bit further over the pass. That's quite a nice view in here. Almost on the ridge to the cement banks. Hear the frogs. There's actually a little pond down below. And then here it seems like there's an old campsite and an old signpost. There's a whole bunch of looks like water bottles and whatnot underneath all the rubble. I just came from there. It was large outcroppings of granite boulders, and then immediately it transitioned here into the typical red peridotite. And I believe this is the start of the cement banks. So this is the cement banks. Kind of interesting terrain in here. You got mostly peridotite, and then you have these random boulders, granite. And then I came from where the middle Duck Lake, or Boulder Lake I mean, was just right around that knoll right there. And you could tell there was an old road, meandered. You could see the line cutting across. And then there was a way that went way back in the day up that way. Long out of commission. Now I see why this is the cement bluff. Pretty much, and there's not much of this exposed. There's all this interesting rock that it trapped some of the serpentine and even the granite boulders. Just cemented everything together. I'm not really even sure what it is, but yeah, it's all the rocks just welded together by this unknown substance here. So here we are. I actually came from where the sun is. I went around the lake here. This is the lower Boulder Lake. And there's a vantage point I want to get to over here. Get some photos in. Saw a couple of frogs here. Water table is pretty high, so it's flowing into the forest a little bit. So the sun is setting behind the trees. It just got a bit more shaded, a little bit darker, and all the frogs are now croaking. See if I can get it all stop. Yep, I didn't really do anything. Wasn't far enough. This is the lake's exit. followed this old road down. This is pretty much what the snowmobilers use. I saw some of their tracks. So they cut up from the road. I'm just right above the parking area where my car is. I got torn up. And I'll just quickly make it down to my car and call it a night. Sunset will be in about 20-30 minutes. And I just drove further down the road from the trailhead I took. And I'll be starting just straight up the hillside and to the top of Craggy Peak tomorrow.